It's literally going up again. I just was at 4.66, went to 4.67, and now it's stabilizing up at 4.68. This is insane. Just by placing certain objects near it, I moved the way that board was placed, and I also moved one of the antenna wires to just be closer to the field. And yeah, it's charging the battery. It's not just maintaining exactly the same voltage forever, it's now increasing voltage. I just watched it go from 4.66 to 4.68. So that violates the laws of thermodynamics. The batteries can't increase their charge while you're using them. It's not possible. But it's been back and forth, 4.66, 4.67, 4.68. It's even been as high as 4.7 something or other before, but it never drains the battery. It's just varies slightly by exactly where the placement of things are, including where the wire contacts the primary or where the fluorescent is the key. When I place the fluorescent right near the system, it actually seems to increases the voltage that I'm getting from the battery pack. And the same thing when I moved this wireless little board here, not that it needs to do anything, it's just like its position, pushing it in towards there. It's acting as kind of like a radiant receiver, or it's just doing something. It's changing the frequency a little bit, it's tuning it or something, and it's actually charging the battery while it draws all this load from the battery. This is not a joke. We are drawing all this load from the battery the whole night, all night long. That's enough light to see in the dark for what I'm doing, no problem. All forever. It'll last. And it's just maintaining the voltage, and it will never drain. It's really wild. Yeah, it's charging. It's trying to stabilize now at 4.68. We'll see if it does. Oh. All those lit. What's going on? I threw something off. See, now we're back to here, and it's going to try to go up again. Let's see what we got. It doesn't drain all night. You got lots of wireless power here. We've been running continuously for like 6 hours. This has never been charged. It doesn't change. If I disconnect it a tiny bit, it might go down a hundredth of a volt. And if I disconnect, it might also go up hundreds of volts also. And if I disconnect it and reconnect it within a couple seconds, it often starts higher. It's been as high as 4.7 something. It just keeps going though. It goes up and down and it doesn't drain the battery. It's basically always about the same exact voltage for hours at a time. It doesn't change. These little antennas are interesting. I don't really know if they're even needed right now or what they're doing. I don't know if I need 2 of them or not. When I take the fluorescent tube out, that load goes, the voltage goes down, which is weird, isn't it? Should be the reverse. When this tube's not lit, the voltage that it's reading while it's operating goes down. That light gets a lot brighter though. So there's a bigger load on the system, I guess, because that light gets brighter. It's really bright. That is very bright now for only being 4.5 volts. It's way brighter than it's supposed to be. And this, when I put it in the picture, look at that. Goes right back to about the same place. It just depends exactly where I touch the tube, where it goes. It's definitely interesting. But yeah, we've been running this. Oh, see, now we got that lit at full brightness, plus that tube is lit. You just can't tell as well. It's totally lit. That tube is super bright. I could run it like this, and it will just stay at that level of voltage the whole time. It will never go down. It'll always stay here. If it goes down a 100th of a volt, it doesn't matter because it doesn't just drop, it just stays. I mean, it's fucking wild, to be honest. It's freaking wild. Run it like this mode, or we can, that's super bright, we can bring this back to close to the thing, and that seems to really help it self-charge. ones are all lit now. That's cool. So depending on where I place the fluorescent or this thing, it changes the reading. When the reading reads lower on here, the light is brighter. And that tube is way brighter than it looks right now. I'll turn the lights out. Oh, look, it's wanting to cycle up. Just went to 4.52 a second ago. I'm gonna cycle this out. Okay, you can see that too. This lit. That light is super bright. Check this one out. There, now the only light in here is that light, and it's actually really bright. It's been running all night. That tube, more wireless. Turn the light back on. Look at that, it just charged. Yep. It charged up. Not drain. Charge. While we're running these lights, and these are bright and powerful, we got this wireless energy out here. We could keep tapping this. It's real bright on these metal objects nearby. Look at that. There's energy everywhere out here. All those lights are lit wirelessly. The big strip is wired in. The fluorescent's wireless. This little board is wireless. That's wired. The voltage has increased. It's increasing more. The voltage is actually going up. It's charging. See, if I put that fluorescent right by the primary, it'll give a different reading on here, but it does the same thing. It stays the same voltage all day. Put it a little further away. It allows that light to be a speck brighter. That's still bright. And the voltage is increasing. It was at 4.5, 4.51. Then it went up to 4.52, 4.53. Now it's almost trying to climb to 4.54 even. See what it does. Either way, it goes up, it goes down a speck, but it doesn't drain the battery. After 6 hours of running this whole system and playing with it, I've checked the battery voltage and it was 4.8 volts the same each time. I'll put it disconnected again at the end and just check it one more time with nothing else connected. It's going to be 4.8 volts. That's what we call FE. I can't say the words. You know what I'm talking about. Can't say the words. It'll trigger the algorithm on me. Okay. It's lit. We got wireless juice everywhere. That's super bright. Batteries don't change. They don't go down. If anything, they can go up or down a spec. See, I'm going up right now. How's that for law of cause and effect and laws of thermodynamics? Throw it out the window. We're in a nonlinear universe. It's going up. This is my battery voltage. Okay. These are the wires. Got a black one, red one. These are the probes. They're right here. These two wires don't go anywhere. They're just antennas. They do not go anywhere. That one. And then the white one. That one doesn't go anywhere. It just sits here. See that? It just sits there. It doesn't do anything. That's the battery pack. I've disconnected it on video before so you could see that. The voltage just stays constant all night. It doesn't change. It's an everlasting flame. just by, wait a second. See, that went up just by not doing anything really. These are all lit. That's lit. That's lit. If you can see it properly. That's totally lit. Okay, the voltage just went up from what it was. So there's non-linear stuff going on. It doesn't drain the batteries all night. I can't do this anymore because I've done this for hours tonight. The battery didn't change. Whole circuit, everything that's connected is glowing with radiant energy. And I guess this has to do with, see, the batteries are glowing. The batteries themselves are glowing with radiant energy. And I think that has to do with why they don't drain. See, look at that. If I just connect one of those, now those are lit nice and bright. I don't have to touch them anymore to light them. I just connected that to one of the antennas on here, and now that's getting all this radiant energy. The voltage doesn't change because of that. I can keep adding way more lights. It doesn't matter. All these lights are lit wirelessly. All this is going on. It doesn't ever change here. If it does, it's just like a speck. It never drains the battery. It's awesome. It's putting out that light from one of my cables that I'm using to charge the batteries, but it still doesn't matter, really. Let me see if I disconnect that light, if it stops doing this. Look how bright that is. I mean, it's like, wow. If I disconnect that, what is it going to do? It doesn't matter. It's going to be connected again. that's what the battery is connected to, that energy, so it just doesn't go down. It's cool. It's beyond cool. Oh, cool. They're all on. Huh. I'm doing this all night for hours. The battery has never drained. That's reality. Last thing I do is I'm gonna test the battery voltage with nothing connected after 6 hours or 5 hours at least of running this stuff continuously, never charging anything. And we'll see what the battery voltage is, nothing connected. It's been 4.78 to 4.81 the whole night. It's never changed. Alright, F it. Let's just see what the battery is. I want to see. Spend so many hours of this. It's insane. The battery should have died hours ago. I guarantee it. Okay, let's see if I can do this. I can't do this with one hand. Oh, come here. It's 4.74. So after 5 or 6 hours of doing this, 4.74. So it's gone down 0.05 of a volt. I did this so much before and it never changed. It never changed at all. 4.75. Let me just try to show you guys.